And welcome back into this morning's video. It's Monday at GazWeather.com, which means only one thing, it's Europe Day. Every Monday, or nearly every Monday, we have a look at weather for the coming week across the continent, and today is no exception. I didn't do the European outlook last week because I had a few days away, so this is the first European outlook for a couple of weeks, and it's a very warm, if not a hot scene now across many parts of Europe. Summer really has sprung into life across all parts of the continent, really. Very, very warm, if not hot scene, but have got a number of thunderstorms in some places. It's going to be staying very warm, if not hot, throughout the coming week as well. Now, before I get on with that, just want to quickly say about the advertising in my video ad. My page is at GazWeather.com. If you hit play on the video ad, you'll be supporting GazWeather.com. Thanks very much for doing that. So let's get on with the European outlook, and this is the situation today. We've basically got a northwest-southeast split because we've got high pressure ridging in from the Azores in towards France and the British Isles. Also got high pressure up over Scandinavia, so it's pretty blocked across the north and west of Europe. So through the central, eastern and southeastern parts of Europe, we've got low pressure, slack low pressure, but we have got low pressure through the central and eastern and southeastern areas, and that low pressure will be producing a lot of heavy rain and thunderstorms. Look how warm it is across Europe today. Nowhere really having cool upper air temperature. Have to go right the way in towards central part of Russia to find anything particularly cold, but many parts of Europe, in fact all parts of Europe, are going to have above average temperatures. Very warm, if not hot. The core of heat really through the Med, of course, and then into central and eastern parts of Europe up over Scandinavia. It's much, much warmer than it should be as well. I've got convective potential, particularly through the central part of the Mediterranean, so from Corsica, Sardinia, Italy, going over the Adriatic towards the Balkans, and then up into central parts of Europe. That's where the highest rates of convective potential are, also going up into Scandinavia and northeastern parts of Europe as well. It's really these central areas that have the risk of the heavy showers and the thunderstorm today, from eastern France through the Low Countries into Germany, down in towards northern parts of Italy. Could be some big thunderstorms in places, and then going over the Adriatic in towards the Balkans, a few scattered thunderstorms there, and moving up in towards the south of Poland as well. Also going over towards the Black Sea, we could have a few thunderstorms up there. Not too much over Scandinavia, a few storms scattered about, but a lot of dry weather there. And pretty dry, really, for much of the UK and Ireland, also going down into western parts of France. And then, of course, through the Med, certainly Spain, Portugal, the central part of the Mediterranean around the Balearic Islands, it's mainly dry until we come to the risk of some showers over Corsica and Sardinia. The southeast of Europe, around Greece and Turkey, also mainly dry as well. Very warm across most of Europe. Of course, the thunderstorms will temper things a little bit in terms of temperatures, so some places will be down into 20 Celsius, but it will feel very humid. But really, it's a warm scene. The heat, or the core of heat, is in the east of Europe, particularly going down in towards the southeast around the Balkans. Temperatures there getting up to around 38 degrees, 100 Fahrenheit over the other side of the Adriatic, also away from the coast. But it's a very warm, hot scene in the east, a little bit cooler in the west, but even there, it is pretty warm today. As we go through to the middle of the week, high pressure is going to be dominating across the north and the northwest around Scandinavia. This big area of high pressure extending in to the British Isles as well. Pressure is slacker down to the southeast, so that's where the thunderstorms will be again, I think, through central, eastern and southeast areas. Then, of course, we've got a heat low over Spain and Portugal, which probably won't be doing too much. Look how hot it is over Spain and Portugal through the middle of the week. Very, very hot there. Temperatures over 40 degrees across central parts of Spain, over 100 Fahrenheit. It's a very warm scene, hot scene really across most parts of the continent and about a ridge of high pressure. So a very warm ridge, and really all parts of the continent will be seeing temperatures well above average through the middle of the week. Convective potential is really from France through the Low Countries, Belgium, Holland, down in towards down in towards Germany, going over the Alps into northern Italy, and then down in towards the Adriatic, less in towards the Adriatic and the Balkans, less up over Scandinavia, and less for the British Isles and for Ireland and for western parts of Spain and Portugal too. So west mainly dry. Could be some showers heading in towards Ireland and western Scotland, but most of the UK will be dry, as will many parts of France, Spain and Portugal. Just a few storms to the east of France and maybe over the Pyrenees, but showers and thunderstorms again ready for the central and and southeastern areas going through southern parts of Germany, Italy, particularly over mountainous areas of Italy, and then down again in towards the Balkans, down in towards Romania as well. Perhaps some heavy thunderstorms there, although parts of Greece and Turkey probably staying mainly dry up over Scandinavia and northeastern Europe, and about big blocking area of high pressure. Very warm, if not hot, really for all parts of Europe. The core of the heat midweek is going to be across Spain and Portugal, intensely hot there. Temperatures above 40 degrees across central parts of Spain. But it's a very warm, hot week coming up for most parts of Europe. Temperatures will be into the high 20s or the low 30s, so into the 80s Fahrenheit essentially, across virtually all parts of Europe through the middle of the week. As we go through to the latter stage of the week, very little change. This ridge will continue up in the north and the northwest. Pressure remains slacker further to the south and southeast, so that's where risk of thunderstorms will be through the middle of the week. Through the latter stages of the week, I should say. Very warm again across all parts of Europe. Intensely hot again through Spain and Portugal, going down towards North Africa, but most Mediterranean very hot, and most of Europe will be hot as well through the latter stage of the week. A lot of convective potential through France into the central parts of Europe. Also maybe risk of some thunderstorms breaking out across southern parts of England again at the end of the week, but really it's these central areas I think that get the bulk of the thunderstorms later on in the week. Here's the precipitation forecast showing there could be some storms for Ireland, United Kingdom, also come down to the north and east of France, going into the Low Countries, into Germany, down into Italy again, particularly the mountainous areas, over the Adriatic into the Balkans, and then going northwards up in towards parts of the south of Poland. Some big thunderstorms there. No storms across Spain and Portugal. In fact, most of the Mediterranean away from Italy will be dry, and it's dry up in the northeast under that very hot ridge of high pressure. And again, it's a very hot scene across all parts of Europe. Temperatures, well, somewhere between around 25 and 35 Celsius, or somewhere from around 80 Fahrenheit to say the upper 90s Fahrenheit. A really hot week coming up again. Temperatures well above where they should be. Going through to next weekend, finally, maybe signs of a little bit of a change with an area of low pressure starting to move in towards Scandinavia, so things could turn a little bit cooler and more unsettled there. The high pressure perhaps showing signs of pulling out in towards the Atlantic a little bit, maybe allowing some slightly cooler, fresher air coming towards Scotland and northern parts of Germany and Denmark, but really much of the continent is again having a very hot time of it, I think, through the latter stages of next week and into next weekend. So a little bit cooler perhaps in towards the parts of northern Britain, towards Scotland, maybe trying to come down in towards Denmark and northern Germany. Could also be turning a little bit cooler over Scandinavia with that low pressure coming in, but really it's a very warm, if not hot scene for most parts of Europe again as we go through next weekend. Convective potential shows that it's through the southern and southeastern areas again, less of a risk up to the northwest, maybe some over Scandinavia. The rainfall shows that it's turning more unsettled over Scandinavia, with showers or longer spells of rain beginning to move in from the west, particularly affecting Norway and Sweden, I think, as we get through towards next weekend. And then coming down in towards the east of Europe, you've got the risk of heavy showers and thunderstorms. Mainly dry, actually, for the British Isles and Islands, France, Spain and Portugal. That's because the high pressure is sitting out in the Atlantic. The temperatures, as we get through to next weekend, show that it's a pretty hot scene again for most areas. Perhaps turning a little bit cooler and fresher for Ireland and Scotland. That's trying to get in towards Denmark and Scandinavia. It probably will do eventually, but most places will be very hot. Look how hot it is across the south of France, for instance. Temperatures there up to 39, possibly 40 degrees. That's up above 100 Fahrenheit. It's very hot in the east of Europe as well. So a really, really hot week coming up this week across Europe. If you don't like the heat, you're going to need to stay indoors, basically, and get some air conditioning, because it's going to be a really hot week. Temperatures well above average. A lot of dry weather, but with these storms scattered about, particularly through central areas. So really hot and summery this week across Europe. That's it for now. Whatever weather it's doing for you, enjoy it. Bye for now.